Welcome to the Restaurant Due Diligence channel. This is our first video, and we're gonna start reviewing a restaurant that is for sale in Lake County, Florida. Just in case if you're wondering, yes, I'm a restaurant owner. I have been a restaurant owner for 13 years and I have started two restaurants from scratch. So I hope this serves you very well. So here we have, due to confidentiality, I cannot share with you what's the specific restaurant, but I'm gonna share with you, the most important information to see if this looks like a good deal or not. So here we have asking price 740,000, 1 million in gross sales, just like a little more, and an owner benefit 91,492. All right, so at first it seems very high asking price, but this sale includes the real estate. So first thing that I see regarding that topic is that they don't even say how much is worth the real estate, which is obviously a key point. But let's continue. So this is just the information that is available on the listing. So here we have more information. We have a physical footprint. It's almost 1,600 square feet. It's not bad. 53 seats, which is not bad. Like if you like if it's like your first restaurant, 53 seats is it's quite good. It's not bad. You can make a lot of money with 53 seats. Zoning, it's in a high traffic commercial district, and some other context in terms of market. It has been open for 16 years. That's amazing. If you can purchase a restaurant that has 16 years of operation, that's awesome. Well, since 2008, it's actually more. It's 18 years. So this information is quite old. That means that probably this listing has been online for quite some time, which is very bad. So let's continue. Let's just continue. I don't want to ruin the conclusion right now. All right. So location, it's near the St. Johns River. It's a tourist place in Lake County, which is, the locations I saw it and it seems to be amazing. It seems to be a very good place. And the seller rationale why the seller is selling his restaurant: retirement, which in my opinion is one of the best reasons for you as a buyer. So I like the 16 years of tenure. I like the location. I like the reason for selling. Size is okay. And it opens from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. That's crazy. This means they have to have breakfast menu, and then at some point they have to change for lunch and dinner service, assuming it's the same menu for lunch and dinner. And they also have a beer and wine license, which is great. It's great. Now I'm gonna mention two things here. First, regarding the beer and wine license, when you acquire a restaurant that has a beer and wine license or a liquor license that it's let's say like in a higher level, as an owner you gotta make sure of the local regulation first to make sure if it's transferable, and second you need to make sure it can be transferred to you or to your company. All right, I'm not gonna get into details, but you gotta think about that always. And second, like, it doesn't make sense to have a beer and wine license and close so early. It just doesn't make sense. Just by seeing this, I would say maybe it would be better for them to focus more on dinner service and remove the breakfast service. So you work, so the service hours are shorter with a higher ticket at night. Just initial thoughts, because this doesn't make sense to me. Let's go to the labor. So we have 13 part-time employees, 3 full-time employees. If we round it up, let's call it like 10 full employees. Now, it's crazy. 10 full employees for a 53 seat restaurant for just $1 million in sales. It just those like the combination of those three numbers, it just doesn't make sense. It seems like way way too many employees. Okay, we can see here the assets. I'm not going to get into this. It looks like they have all the needed equipment. What I want to say about this is that, it's a 16-year-old restaurant. We don't know how old that equipment is. So when you purchase a restaurant, especially if it's old, you gotta make sure the equipment, like how much is it worth approximately. It doesn't have to be very exact, but you need to know it's in good condition, it's not too old, and that it's not gonna give you a pain in the ass in a very short term after purchasing a restaurant. They are at 47.6% COGs, cost of goods sold. 47.6%. That's crazy. That's insane. I can accept 35% max, but 47% is just crazy. This means like one of three things. Maybe there is a ramping employee theft, or the owner is terrified of increasing prices. Maybe he's scared of losing customers, too many customers if he increases prices. Maybe he doesn't know he has to do it. Maybe he doesn't understand inflation. Maybe he, like, I don't know. Or another possibility is that their food waste is terribly high, which I would not be surprised with what I see here. But it can also be a combination of those three things. So, you know, basically, this restaurant is being managed terribly, like insanely badly. So, we have that percentage. Of course, that could be like a point of improvement, a point of negotiation, but that's a big one. It's a very big one. We have owner benefit. This is 9%, but remember, this is the real estate of the owner. It's the restaurant. It's in its own real estate, so it's 9% owner benefit, and they don't pay rent. So imagine if they paid rent, like a good rent in terms of percentage would be 5% of your gross sales. So imagine that 5%, the owner benefit is 9%. If he were to pay rent, the owner benefit would be only 4%. And this owner is working full time, like a lot of hours here, because in the financial statement, which doesn't have much information, actually just have the gross sales, the owner benefit, and the total um, profit or loss. It's just crazy, like 4%. This restaurant is severely damaged in terms of operations. You would expect better from someone that has owned a restaurant for 16 years. Now, I understand, maybe he's old, maybe he's sick, I don't know. But, I don't want to judge, but it's just terrible management. Here we have the total asking price, 740,000. We already saw the benefits 9%, so it's just above 90,000. The real estate could be a positive thing. However, if you're gonna buy a restaurant, you're getting into the restaurant business. You're not getting into the real estate business, even though they can be related. Thinking about the real estate, if you're getting just into this business, it doesn't make sense. Okay, so that's my initial thought. You think about real estate only if like you have a big chain of restaurants or those kind of big companies, but not when you start. That's just my point of view. I might be wrong. So here's the deal synthesis. Some good things are. I mean, it could be a good thing in the real estate if you're looking for a real estate. I don't recommend it if you're getting into the pure restaurant business. SBA financing, of course, it's good just because there's an option, but it doesn't mean that it's a good option to take. Very good 16-year operating history. Gross revenue exceeds 1 million threshold, which is good. Only the top 10% restaurants in the United States exceed the 1 million threshold. So it's not bad. And some problems, some frictions. Of course, the COGs are extremely high. The owner benefit, the net profit is crazy low. It would be even lower if they paid rent. 15 hours a day. It's come on, come on. It's just crazy. There are better ways to increase profit instead of working or opening the restaurant for so long. And this looks like an owner dependent restaurant. The owner having the very limited financial statement that his salary was 167,000. So that created a net annual loss. It's been operated by the restaurant owner and it's still very bad. As an example, like as a possible improvement, let's just say that you improve the COGs from 47% to 30, that would yield an extra 177% without adding any customers. So that can be a point of improvement, but it's just too risky. It's just too risky. So for me, this is a big, big no. They try to max out the service hours. This restaurant could have potential, but the thing is, it would be too much work, too much risk. I would say this is a $1 million turnkey illusion. This is not turnkey. This is a big no. I would definitely not even try to look at more information about this restaurant. It would be a waste of time. And I hope this helps you to not waste time looking at possible deals are just illusions.